Hi everyone. Am I audible to you all? Yes. Okay. So let's continue the session. Yesterday we have covered few part of our conceptual part of linear regression. Okay. And today we will cover the practical part of that. And let us start our this linear regression. Yesterday we have covered the theory part, and today we are going to start this. So here we are taking one data set, which is the loans data .csv. And this already I have opened this project, so I don't need this thing. I don't need to set the working directory is already in this project. That data set is here, loans data. So I will read from here. So first we read this data set. I remove everything from here.
Sir, screen is not shared, sir.
Oh, sorry. Forget to share the screen. It's clear now. Are you getting my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So so we have one data set which is our loans data, and we are going to start this. We read first this data. So what I will read .csv, because it is a CSV format file .csv. So read .csv loans data .csv. So I have abbreviated it loans data LD. LD for loans data. The object name I have created here very small. So I run it. So you will see here we are getting 2,500 observations and 15 variables. If we view it, I just click here and you will get this data here. And if you view, there is a ID of the client, amount requested for loan, amount funded by investor. It is the historical data we have, and interest rate and the loan length, 36 months, 60 months. Loan purpose, what the debt consolidation, credit card, other, whatever. Debt to income ratio is given 14.90, 28.60. State is given. Home ownership is mortgage, rent, or own. It is given. Monthly income of the person is given. FICO range is like our CIBIL score. That is the credit range here. FICO range, sorry, FICO dot range. Open credit lines, how many loans the person has, how many credit cards, domestic loans, and the domestic home appliances loan, vehicles, and these all the number of credit lines. Revolving credit balance. Okay, how much revolving credit balance is there? Then inquiries in the last 6 months and employment length in the current company. How long he is working in the current company. So does that make sense to everyone? About this data set, is there a query? You want to understand something? Yes. Okay. Clear to all? Now, what is our objective? Our objective is here. In this case, we want to predict the interest rate. This is our target variable. Interest rate is our target variable. Okay. And you see for the debt consolidation, they are giving some other interest rate because the interest rates vary. If I have good security, they will charge low interest rate, like your own home is there. So they have one option to recover it. So in this way, what purpose you are using it, that is also very important. So these all things somewhere affect the interest rate, make some impact on the interest rate. So we have to find out this interest rate. Got it? This is our target variable. And you see here one variable, which is amount funded by investor. This variable is not important for us. It is the after getting the loan, this will decide. So prior that we will get the interest rate. Okay, so this column, amount requested is okay. It is compulsory, but amount funded by investor is the post activity. Does that make sense to everyone? Any doubt? Yes. amount funded by investor. It is a post activity. This is not a before. First you calculate. First you predict the interest rate, what amount you are asking, and these all thing you will give, and you will get this interest rate. It doesn't have any. You will not. We will not get this figure. This is not a figure of the person who is demanding a loan. It is the figure given by the investor. It will be given by the investor, or it will become later on after approval of the loan. At the time of approval, they will say that we could give this much amount to you. So that is not a important variable. It is useless for us in this predictive model. Does that, are you agree with this or not? So it means that when we are going to start some analysis, then we should have some domain knowledge of that field, or we should get some domain knowledge of a particular field through the employees of that organization or whatever, through the internet and so many things. Understand? So we remove this column. First we remove this column. So I will also show you the structure of this data. You see in the structure, there is an ID, it is an integer. Amount requested is a numeric data, but it is in quotes. So it is character now. So we have to convert this in numeric form. Amount funded by investor, we will delete it. We don't have to do anything with this. Interest rate, we have to remove this percent sign, then we have to convert in a numeric. Here we see later on about the 36 months or the how many months loans are there, how many categories are there here in the loan length. And also the loan purpose, we will see how many categories are there. In the debt to income ratio, we will remove this percent sign and convert them in numeric. State, we will see how many unique values are there in the states. Mortgage, we see how many categories are there. Monthly income is a numeric, no problem, it's okay. This variable is okay for us. Then FICO range, we have to find the mid value of this all. Got it? Then open credit lines, there is a quotes, we have to remove this. We have to use a s dot numeric function for this also. For revolving credit balance, we have to use the s dot numeric function. We could remove these quotes. And the inquiries in the last 6 months, we have the 210. It is an integer, no problem. It's okay. But if we see about the employment length, so there is less than 1 year, 2 years. So we have to remove this less than symbol and remove this year. So we get the number only. Are you getting it?
Sir, what is FICO range?
FICO range just like a civil score. If you are going to get a loan,
Okay.
so it
Okay.
depends on that. In the foreign countries, they use FICO range. Here we in India, we use the civil score. Okay. So we have to do so many things with this, and we see how we pre-process the data. And we also find out, is there any missing values or contents or not, that we have to see. This we are doing the general processing. There are two types of processing. General processing means it will not affect. It is the general processing. We just it is not a feature engineering. We'll perform some feature engineering. What means when we do the dummy variables. Okay. First thing, we have done the activity feature selection. So in the feature selection, you have seen that we have removed the amount funded by investor. We are going to remove it. Other features we are keeping. That feature we are removing. So that is a feature selection in the primary basis. We are doing this. So removing unimportant feature, first thing. So that is a LD dollar amount funded by investor is equal to null. Got it? It's very easy. You just write down the data frame name, then you put the dollar, you will get the drop down menu. You select that variable and just alter minus and null in capital. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I run it. So now you see, if I show you the structure again, you will see that column is not there. It was below amount requested. It is not there. Okay. We have 14 variables. Previously, we have 15 variables. This was. We have removed it. Okay. Now, we are going to use some libraries in this project. What is the dplyr, which is very, very important for the data manipulation? Cyc we are using for some describe functions and this all. Mice we are using for the missing values purpose, and VIM we will use for some other activity. I will explain later on that. So I run this all library all together. Okay. Now I start the data wrangling. Now this process is called the data wrangling. We are converting character into numeric. This activity is called the data wrangling. Okay. So here you see the pipe2 function is for chaining method, and this we have read in the data preparation part. So LD, I am saving again in the LD, whatever the output I will get from this. And LD I am what doing? I am doing in LD, I am mutate. Mutate means I am making new columns with the help of previous columns. So the interest rate is one of the column where the percentage is there. So I am using the gsub function, and this percentage I am removing. I am not writing anything in these codes, the pattern, and this is the what you are substituting in spite of that. No? I am doing this activity. It will remove the percentage sign from my, I will show you from here. It will remove this percentage sign, gsub function, cross substitution. And after it will be a character, and it will be in a quotes. So then I convert them in s dot numeric. Got it? Is there any doubt in this first line? Yes. Anyone has any doubt? Okay. Second thing, second is the debt to income ratio. This is also has we have percentage sign. So similar activity we are doing with this also. Got it? Same process we are doing here. Then open credit lines, you see there is a quotes. So it is character. So we just remove these quotes. We are just using the s dot numeric. And same we are doing with our amount requested. There is quotes. Okay. And same we are using with the revolving credit balance. Is it clear to all?
Sir, what is open credit lines?
Open
Credit lines.
Open credit lines means suppose I have a 5 credit cards and one car loan, one home loan. So 516 credit lines I have. Got it?
Yes, sir.
No? 5, 6, 7 credit lines if I have. The number of loans, how many? Different kinds of. Understand? That is the open credit lines. Got
Yes,
it?
sir.
Some home appliances may be also on the EMI. This all include 12, 13, 14. Someone has taken the washing machine and also the fridge and some other stuffs also for the home appliances. So these are the different credit line. Okay. So I run this and then you see here I am getting something. I am getting a warning message. So problem with mutate input open credit lines, NA is introduced as coercion. There are some NA values. But don't be afraid from this warning message. It has worked. There is no error. You see our amount requested now converted in numeric. Our interested is now converted in numeric. Our debt to income ratio converted in numeric. Our open credit lines converted in numeric. Our revolving credit balance also converted in numeric. Got it? Okay. In the linear and the logistic regression, every variable should be numeric. Any doubt? Numeric or integer or double, we could say. Now we see some other variables which are in character one by one. Warning false I have written here. You see, it means don't bother about the warning. Okay. Now what I see how many NA values in the data. So sum is dot NALD. So I have 32 NA values in my data. How many? 32. So I will treat with the NA values later on. Okay. First I am doing this process, data wrangling. So data wrangling you could perform before partition. That something is very important. Before imputing, if you impute the value instead of missing, suppose you are inputting the mean of that respect to column in the missing values, in the place of missing values. So it should be done after partition, imputation of missing values, whatever you are doing, it should be done after partition of the data, not the before partition of the data. That is very important thing. Okay. Data wrangling is okay. You do before the partition. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
So Nikita, in regression, if you are doing the regression in the perspective of inferential analysis, then there is no requirement of the partition. But here we are learning this in perspective of predictive analysis. There is no difference. For the inferential purpose, you don't partition the data, you do with the whole data. That is for the inferential purpose. Nothing different. Only the partition is an important thing in the predictive and the inferential. Okay. So what we are doing in the FICO range, you see here, this is our FICO range. This is our lower limit and this is our upper limit. Lower limit, upper limit. For lower limit, we are using substring function. And substring we have studied. And we are taking one column as F1. And we are using the substring function in FICO range. It starts from first position to third position. So it will take in the F1. Got it? And then fourth position is the hyphen, so we will not consider this. And from 5th to 7th, we will use for F2. So there are two columns we have. One of lower limit and one of upper limit. But both are character because there is a quotes. And then we convert them in S dot numeric simultaneously. So we get these two columns in a numeric form. Got it? And now we have F1 and F2. So we add the F1 and F2 and multiplied by 0.5, or we could divide by 2 also for getting the average of this. The same thing. So we are multiplying it by the 0.5 and giving a new name FICO to this calculation, what we are getting out of this final value. So there is we have new column, 3 new column, F1, F2 and F3 in our data frame now. Got it? Then what we are doing, we are pipe2 function we are again using, and we are removing the original FICO dot range column minus I have written. In the select, we are using the minus sign. It means we are deselecting it. We are removing it from our data set. F1 we have worked here. We have used these F1 and F2 both. So it is worthless for us now in the further analysis. We remove these both also. Does that make sense to everyone?
So that means pipe2 function is used twice, one for addition, one for removing?
Pipe2 function we could use many times. It is a chaining.
All right.
First we are doing this activity, then we are pipe2 the further process what we are going to do with the data frame. So we are going to deselect, remove these 3 columns later on. Or we could separately, we could use it if you want. Pipe2 function we could use join many pipes with a legend, that is a connector in the pipe. Okay. So I run this. And again, I show you the structure. You see here, FICO dot range is not there. Now there is another new column that is a FICO. In the last one, you see, this is the mid value of this FICO dot range column. Got it? It is numeric now. Any doubt? And I will show you now the next column we are taking employment length. This one. So I will show you how many unique values are there in employment length. You see, we have so many unique values. There are so many categories. Less than 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 9 years, 3 years, 10 plus years, 8 years, 6 years, 1 year, 7 years, dot, 4 years, N oblique NA. This we have 14 categories are here. but I want the numeric everything. I want to remove this. I want to remove this. I want here 0. Less than 1 year means 0 year. The working in that company, he has not completed 1 year. It means 0 years. Okay. First thing I am doing with this 10 plus years. So the 10 plus years, what I will use here, I will use the substring function, and I will just put 1 and 2 place if something is 10. You see here is only it is 10. So in the any category, if there in first 2 places there is 1 and 0, then it become 10. And what I am using here, I explain you. Okay. I mutate it, giving new name EL for employment length. I am giving a new variable name EL for the employment name. If else condition I am using substring employment length 1 2. 1 2 means first 2. If first 2 is 10, so it should be 10. If I am getting the first 2 character 10, 1 and 0, then the whole should be 10. Instead of this 10 plus years, I will get there 10 only. I will substitute 10 there, substring. If else function I am using for this, putting this. Got it? And other, which the categories which doesn't have 10 in the first 2 places will remain as it is. Employment length will remain as it is, Matlab, less than 1 year would be less than 1 year, 2 years would be 2 years. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Then second part, I am again using if else, and this is for this symbol. If some category has a smaller than symbol, then it should be 0. Instead of this all, if it catch only the first place 1 to 1, substring function I am using 1 to 1. At the first place, it is getting smaller than symbol, then this whole character, whatever we have, should be 0. Instead of this, I will get 0. And remaining this, and now the 10 also converted in 10. 10 plus years converted in 10. This all will be like as it is. So because I have changed the name EL, so I have to write here EL now. Got it? I will not write the employment length here because I have given a new name. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Then I am using gsub function. If somewhere is years, you see the years is here. Only 1 year. There is year only, and the other has years. 9 years, 3 years, 4 years. So whenever I get years, I don't want to do anything. It should be blank. So it will be removed, and you will get over there 2. Got it? Okay. It will remove from every number. Wherever the years, it will remove. And there is a 1 year. So I have the same process I have done for the year. Got it? Okay. And after all, I am getting this all in a character form. Finally, I am converting them as a s.numeric. Altogether, I am not writing here. You may get confusion where I have to write the s.numeric. So I am using it at the last for the whole, whatever the EL I have got here. For this EL, I am converting in s.numeric, and I am getting the numeric now. Any doubt?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir? What about the spaces, sir?
What?
Spaces. Here, two
Spaces will
here.
automatically, when we convert in the numeric, it will automatically remove.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When we convert it as .numeric, it will automatically remove this space, na? this much.
Okay.
Automatically it will remove. Okay.
Sir,
And finally, by chaining, we remove that employment length column. It will remain as it is. It will remain as it is. We have not done anything with N oblique A and NA. We will do later on this thing. We will treat it later. Okay. We are not doing anything with the NA or N oblique A and the dot. Okay.
it is like overriding EL each time.
Yeah.
Okay, like first line, it will place in place of 10th, only 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this process we have done. Now I run this. And the warning false, I have written everywhere. Wherever you get the warning, don't worry about it. It is false. Because the NS are introduced there. Na? We have not given any treatment to NS. Okay. So NS are there. It is just telling us there are NS. Okay. Now I show you this. So you see EL we have. Got it? 0, 2, 5, 9, 3, 10. Any doubt? You could view it also. EL. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Or it is numeric now. Now we see about the home ownership. We see the table of this, or we could see the unique values also if you want. You see mortgage, we have 1147 home. The person has taken the loan. They have taken the home loan. So it is mortgage in the bank. They're just paying the EMI. Home is mortgage. None is one. One is none. None is, we don't know what does it mean. None. Then other is 5. Other means maybe their relative home they are living, or maybe they have somewhere captured someone's home. They are, and own is 200% their own home without any loan. And 1146 are on rent. That makes sense to everyone. So what I am going to do, we have a condition that we could take the dummy variables k minus 1. So we have 5 category. At the most, we could take 4 dummy variables, where we are taking only 3. Other and none would be in a base category, both. Got it? It would be a numeric, Jaideep. Got it? So we are mutate it. First column name I am writing home underscore rent, HW underscore rent. And it is the home ownership column equal to rent, wherever it will get the rent. And s dot numeric. S dot numeric means 0 and 1. So wherever it is rent, then 1, there is no rent, 0. Similarly, I am doing for the home mortgage and the home ownership. And I am removing home ownership origin. I run this. I will show you the, you see it is in the 0 and 1. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now we have this column, this column, this column is a character. Only 3 columns remain. Now I will see the loan purpose.
Sir, I have a question.
Hmm.
Sir, in case of employment length, you did changes like you removed the years part and you have used the numerical value 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So it is like it is a right move to I mean use 1, 2, 3 values for our analysis. But
Yeah.
if employment length would have been interval value like 1, 2, 3 and 4 to 6 somewhere like that. So
Hmm.
what is advisable? Whether I mean I can convert it into numeric as well as I can make a dummy variable for that also.
Whenever you are able to convert something in a numeric, it would be better for the linear regression model or the logistic regression model. So we
Right,
have two options at the class interval cases. Either we could convert them in a dummy variable as a categorical form,
right.
or we could convert them as a mid value we could take and convert them in a numeric form.
Okay.
So numeric will give you the more accurate model, will provide you the better model than if you are converting them in a dummy variable.
Okay. So numeric has more advantages than converting it into
Yeah,
category variable.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine, sir.
Because it is a mathematical calculation, na? Linear and logistic.
Right, right.
It is totally based on the mathematics.
Okay.
So
So
if they,
wherever,
yeah. But
so
if you are
wherever,
making a decision tree or the random forest,
yeah.
na, that is a different model, and there you convert them in a category, dummy variable.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it may be treated as a category. The factor, you convert them in factor,
Right.
just convert them in factor, and you could use it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. There is no need of process the mid value or the dummy in the decision tree on the random forest.
Yes. Yes. So it is based upon us. If we could derive better value out of that variable, then we should do as per the requirement, like to convert it into numeric or to use as a dummy variable.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now we see the loan purpose. So we see how many loan purpose are there. You see there are so many loan purpose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If we create a dummy variable n minus 1, k minus 1. So we will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 13 dummy variables we required. That is too much. So what we are going to do here, we will see there is a high frequency, there is a higher frequency. These are the more data we have. And these also other, we have more. And so we take only these three up to 200 frequency we take, and the remaining we use as a base category. There are very small frequency 150 to 101. You could use this also up to 5 you could go, but I have chosen only 3. Less than 200 I am not going down that. Got it? Because I have 2500. Okay. So and if I divide 2500, why I have taken this decision? Why I'm not going less than 200? I will show you what is the logic behind that. What we are getting the value 178. Got it?
Yes,
What
sir.
av- what average I am getting in the 14 category? I am getting the average of 178. Got it? So I am taking the variables which has more than this frequency. So this is the 200, 444 and 1307. Other has the layer lower than this mean. No, the frequency is low, then it will not make much impact. We are not removing it. We are using them as a base category. All. It would be there in the model, but as a base category. We are not giving them a specific, we could say the, what, treatment. Not giving them the specific. We are not showing you are a specific for this. So they are the general person. We are using them as a base category. Understand, Jaideep? Aam Aadmi. Okay. Model will not have any impact because it is already there, but they have the low frequency. It means we are not treated as a celebrity. We are not giving them much preference for that, but they are still there. They would be still there. Okay. So is there any doubt about it? Why I have taken this decision? Yes.
Sir, one doubt I have.
Yes.
So for example, when the data is very like less in number,
Mhm.
like here we have a lot of observations. So taking this as we have removed or we have taken some as base category.
Mhm.
So like in certain cases when especially in economics, the data sometimes is not as big, the data set is not as big.
Mhm.
In that case, I mean, is it recommended to not consider some variables in the analysis?
Not consider some variable in the analysis. That is the what I have explained you earlier. The feature selection. You are talking about the feature selection.
Like when we are not you like when we are keeping some variable in the base category.
No, variable we are not keeping. We are keeping the category.
Okay.
Category from the variable. We have these all categories in this variable.
Yeah.
The variable is known purpose is a variable,
Yeah.
and these are the categories.
Yeah.
So when we have a less data, then it would be the small frequency everywhere you will get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does not that mean you could use this technique for that.
So I mean the highest frequency variable I can use and others I can keep as a base category.
You find out the mean, whatever the category, you divide the total observation by the number of category.
Okay.
So we have the 14 category.
Yeah.
Understand? So
Yeah.
we have 2,500 observations.
Yeah.
I have divided 2,500 observation by 14.
Yeah.
So each category should have 178 frequency near about.
Yeah.
So it is the mean of that frequency. The category which doesn't have this much frequency, I'm considering them as a base category, taking them in a base category.
Also, sometimes if let's say I want to keep a certain categories out of these as somebody suggested, let's say home improvement. So can we also do that? Because sometimes it might be important for analysis to keep a particular parameter in the
Yes,
not
yes.
in the base category.
It depends on you. It depends on the analyst. Whether he wants the home improvement is very important. Or we could see the correlation this also previous.
Yeah.
We could judge that.
Yeah. Got it, sir. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so then we could finalize it. What is there?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we could finalize it. What is there?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the general technique we follow. I am using that one. Okay. Now we talk about the sir, another thing, sometime we club some variable with new name. Yes, Jaideep, we could do that, but not in the linear regression. In a logistic, we do that thing. We should have some criteria for club the things. Some mathematical reason behind it, or the scientific we could say. So that is not here because our target variable is numeric here. Got it? So we could not club it. Yes. So I run it and see what happens now. And I will show you again that structure. Look at here. LP, credit card, LP, what was that? The debt consolidation and the LP other. Okay. So we have 18 variables now. Now we have two variables like this and this. Okay. So first we see this loan length, and then we see what is to be do with this state. We have to keep it, we have to remove it. You know, whether we have to consider it or remove it. So I see the loan length. So there are two categories basically, 36 month and the 60 months. So there are two categories. It means I don't require the number 36 and the 60 is not useful. It is the binary only. We could say that two values. We take only one dummy. So 36 month I have the highest frequency, and the 60 months I have the lower frequency. So I take this as a main and this as a base category. So this dot one will go to this 60 months, which has only dot. We don't mention anything there like NA. Got it? So what we mutate LL underscore 36 loan length underscore 36 S dot numeric loan length equal to 36 month, and select loan length. We are removing that one. And if you see the structure again, so we have this much. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now this column remains. I will see the table of this. Oh, you see there are so many categories. Or we could not consider, we could not take the dummy values here. So many are there. So what we do for this sort of thing, with the numeric variable, whatever we have, we do one thing, we do the clustering and segmentation. And as per that, we give some name, the region or the zone, whatever. These are the state name. So we could make a region 1, region 2 in this way. But after clustering and segmentation. Here we have not covered segmentation and clustering. It is in our this workshop course and last chapter. So after studying that, we will see what we could do it. But here in this analysis, I am removing this column. I am not considering this. Does that make sense to everyone? Got it? Sir, in case we have 10 area pin codes. Yeah. What do you want to ask, Jaideep?
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Sir, is there any criteria that more number of categories is there for any? Is there any criteria for removing that variable?
No, no.
For chi-square test and all, we have said no, less than 5.
There is a contingency table we prepare there. No?
Yes. So less
Here,
than 5 means we have to use Fisher test, right? Like
we
that.
use the
Here
FISA test.
is
We use the FISA test. Otherwise, manually, if you perform this, you do the yard correction over there. There is a
so
yard
I'm
correction.
asking just here is there any criteria that because here more number of categories are there, so you are removing the variable, right? So is there any criteria? So five only 5 categories or 10 categories. Is there any criteria for that?
No,
No.
there is no that.
Okay.
So I am removing this because there are so many categories. The 169 UC, 433 UC, 101 is there, then 96 is there. Okay. We have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 47. So above 53, how many do you have? You could consider that, but they are also too much. 78, 58, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not possible. No, we could not take that much only. It will mislead your result. Okay. So better to, at this moment, we are not considering it. We are not, we are using the feature selection and we are removing it only. Okay. Later, when we read about the segmentation and clustering, then I will tell you what to do with it. Okay. And I run it. Now, you see, we have all numeric and integer. There is no character. There is no factor. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Can we use the null function to remove the column?
A null function. We could use that also.
Okay, thank you.
Here we are using the dplyr function select for removing. Okay, minus sign if we put, then it will remove it from that. We could use the null also. Don't worry. Both are the same thing. You have seen that I have not done any imputation of missing value or the outliers. I have not worked on the outliers before partition. Got it? I have done the data wrangling only before partition. Now you understand what is data wrangling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So data wrangling work is done before partition of the data and the feature selection also. And after partition, we do the feature engineering, the treatment to missing values and these all things, outliers, Why we do it? I explain you that. Why don't we do whole thing before the partition? People do these mistakes. 90% data analysts do this mistake. They process the data and then they partition it. That is the big problem. Why I tell you. Suppose you have not partitioned the data, or you have filled the missing value as per the mean of that column. Okay. And then you partition the data after that. Few part of that missing value where you have feed that mean is in the test data, and few part is in the training data. Got it? Understand up to here?
Yes, sir.
So when you train the model, it's okay, you are training the model. And when you are training the model, that mean which you have impute before, it is giving the reflection of test data also to you while training or not. Okay. It is giving the reflection of the test data. Suppose I explain you the thing. It's very easy to explain, don't worry. We have few values, 2, 5, 7, 3, 2, then missing, then 5, then 8, then missing, then 7. And you find out the mean of this. So when you find out the 2, 7, 7, 14, 3, 17, 18, 19, 19, 24, 24, 8, 32, 32, and 7, 39. And how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I do, I convert these in 3 or this in 8, suppose. So it is 40 now. So 40 divided by 8 would be 5. Got it? So I have done this. So I will put here 5 and I will put here 5. Got it? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now I am taking data for training purpose. So I just hypothetically taking this data. I have taken this data for the training. Got it? And this I kept for the testing purpose, separate. Got it? Where you got this 5? From the whole data? The effort of this 5, 8 and this 8 is also there for finding this out, for measuring this.
Sir,
Yes.
there is condition we have to take 50% of data for testing and training, or randomly.
No. We have an option that 60 to 80% we consider for training
Okay.
and remaining we use for the testing.
Okay, sir.
Okay, not the 50-50, between 60 to 80%.
Okay.
So here you see it is showing the reflection of this also or not, Sally?
Yes, sir.
Right? So you have already unincidentally you have sent some information of test data to training model. You have given.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Some information of this testing data already you have given to the training model.
Yes, sir.
So when you train this model and when you put this test data in this model, you have create this model and you put this data in the model for test the model, how it is performing. So it will give you the high accuracy with this data also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
But So I say this part, I say the validation. I don't say the test data. What I say? Validation data. Okay. So this validating data, or when you get a separate data for testing, the company for which you have developed this model, and that company will send you final data. Please you test on this and send us the result only. They are not giving you the predicted variable, predictive value, the target variable. They are just giving you the predictors. Predictors means independent variables. So you feed that independent variable in this model and you send it to them. When they check the accuracy, because they have already the target variable, they have not sent to you. It happens in the general practice. Okay. So then they check it and they get the low accuracy.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Got it? Because this is what data they have sent to you later on when you train the model and validate the model. And after that, they send you. And then you apply this.
Yeah.
Then there is it is not performed in well manner.
Okay, sir.
Suppose in the training model, if you test with the trained data, you are getting somewhere 72% of accuracy. And with this validate data, you are getting again with 71, or it may be 73 also. It may be 70%. But with the test data, you are getting 51%. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, but in suppose like test data also have this like number, suppose for example 5, then in that case it will be like accuracy will be more.
No, I could not understand what is asking.
Means
Pardon, please.
like if they give us a testing data, in
Hmm.
that also like this suppose number 5 is repeated most of the times. Okay.
Hmm.
So in that case, this model will be like counting for like 100% accuracy or more than the comparison now.
No, that's not a problem there. Because it is, I'm talking about the one variable. We have worked with the so many variables. No?
Okay.
I have taken only the one variable we are considering here. There are
Yeah.
so many other variables we have given some treatment to them.
Okay, sir.
So it is not possible the simultaneous, the corresponding should the value be same.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it clear to all? Why we are
Yes,
doing these sort of things after the partition?
yes, sir.
That is very, very important. What do when we take the project from Kaggle? Kaggle, you have listened about the Kaggle, most of you. So at that moment, that is okay. You do the whole process because you are getting the both data together, test and train. But in the test data, they also don't give you the predicted variable, the target variable. They don't give you the target variable. So at that moment, what happens? You get the low accuracy with that test. If the test you have the predicted variable, or sorry, that target variable, then you could do the manipulation. Okay. So I remove this. I have written there LD underscore test. And here I have written the train. So I am changing this word. I have intentionally written their test because I want to explain that we have to use here validation. And it should be like a validation, but here we don't have some other test data. So we are using it in this way. So sometimes what we do, divide the data in 3 parts also. training, validation, and test. Okay. So what we do, the test data we keep aside. In the first part, we divide the data in one training or the one train data, the base data, and the second is the test data we put separate, and the training and testing. Two part we do at in the starting, without the before the feature selection and anything. We divide the data in two part. Okay, training and testing. So testing data is now separate, totally separate. It is unknown. Now we have a training part. Then we divide this training part in two part again. We do the two partition. When first we we work on the data wrangling, then we partition the data in this way. At this stage, we divide them in training, the train data we have. So that train data we are dividing in training and validation. I explain. Data at the initial stage, when we got the data, we divide in two parts. One is the train and second is the test. Test we keep separately. And first we do the data wrangling and the feature selection process. And then we divide it in two parts before imputing this feature engineering and the treatment of missing value and this all before this. Training. Now the name is changed. From train, it is training and validation. Got it? And here we take 60 to 80% for this and remaining for this. And remaining we take here. Here we also do the same thing. The 30% we keep here, the 70% we keep here. Out of this 70%, we again 60 to 80% here and the remaining here. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Jaideep, correct. You are correct. But what we do, whenever you get the data, you pass that data through the data wrangling process. When we deploy the model, we upload this all data wrangling syntax or the whatever we have stuff on the server side. So whenever you feed the data, it will pass through that filters. Then it will go to the model. Got it? We pass the test data with the data wrangling too when we test it separately. Jaideep, got it or not? Got it? We have to pass the whole process. The test data will follow the whole process, what you have done. But it will not use that missing value concept and the outlier it will pass everything there. Okay, it will pass out the whole process. Okay. And then it will go to the model and then it will give you the result. Okay. So this is very important. The process is very important. Now you will not get in the videos on the YouTube and the everything. The data scientists who are working in this field for a very long time, they know what are the loophole is there, because they have done so many mistakes in this way. I myself done this sort of mistakes. I have seen that why in the validation data the accuracy is very good, but in the testing data the accuracy is not good. Then we have to think over it, where we have to use this, what activity we have to do when. Got it? That is the thing. So you are getting everything here ready-made, most of the things. Okay. So is there any doubt now? You could ask.
So one doubt.
Yes.
So when we after feature selection, when we the 80% of the data we train the model, right? Train.
Yes, yes.
So and then we validate the results of that model with the validation data, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, model will be prepared by the training data, no?
Okay, yeah. So after model when is prepared by the training data, the results of that model are then cross-checked by the validation data. I mean, you're going to see
Yeah.
which one is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
And
no.
then what?
What we are doing, we have make model, we have a training data, and we are making model with this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we also get the prediction with the training data first.
Yeah.
We check. It doesn't mean that you made the model, it means you will get all the yes and no. Suppose we have two categories, yes and no, or whatever the yes here in the training model, actual yes, and your predicted yes there or no, whatever.
Yeah.
It may be no in the prediction. Understand? Because we are not considering this variable here in the prediction time.
Yeah.
When you are getting the prediction, then you don't have y there. You're not putting y.
Yeah.
You are just putting the predictors. Predictors mean the independent variables. So it is giving you some result, yes and no, suppose. Okay. And the previous data, we have the yes and no actual result also.
Yeah.
So we see the accuracy by which we have trained this model, how it is giving us the performance, how accuracy we are getting over there. If it is giving us the very good accuracy with this, so it may be sometimes called overfitted. Understand?
Yeah.
If it is giving us the good accuracy, suppose it is giving me the 90% accuracy, so it is overfitted now for me.
What is the role of validation in test data then?
So I will tell you. And the validation data is unknown data for this model.
Yeah.
Because whatever we are going to do now, the missing value, this is all after the partition. Understand?
Yeah.
So anything would not be reflect in the model of this validation part.
Yeah.
Understand? We will do the separate for this, and we will do the separate for this.
Yeah.
Got it? Separately we will do it. So we give this data to this model, and then we check it.
Okay.
If it is giving us the good performance, then our model is good.
Okay.
We validate the model through the validation data.
Okay. Okay.
Not through the training data.
Okay.
Training data, we just check whether it is overfitting or not.
Okay.
If it is giving us the high accuracy with the training data itself,
Yeah.
first we have prepared the model with training data. Then we are again inputting this data set in this model and getting out some predictions. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
with
sir.
the same data. Or we check the accuracy. And if there is higher accuracy, it means our model is little bit overfitted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is dangerous for us if it is giving us the high accuracy.
And then what
Sometimes.
do we do with the test data, sir? The first that we partition the data in test data.
Test data, sometimes when we take a task
Yeah.
for making a machine learning model, So it is a process. So what they do was the only one train data. Okay.
Okay.
And they say, please you make a model out of this.
Okay.
Okay. So we partition this data in two parts. We make one model and we validate it. And then they provide us the test data where y is not there. Our target variable is not here. Here we have the target variable.
Okay.
Okay, so we have in the both part we have the target variable. We could compare the accuracy of our model.
Yeah.
But we are unable to compare the accuracy of our model with the test data. Are you able to compare? We don't have the y here. Actual y is not there. You are giving them the predicted y as an output. Okay.
Why is this practice done? So basically they're not giving us the test data.
Yeah. So we have to send this y cap to them.
So they will compare the actual with the predicted value.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they give you this first, then what you will merge these two. You will merge these two and you will do the all activity, missing value, everything, and then you partition it. So its reflection is there in the model and you will get the good accuracy through this data also.
Or maybe I will just manipulate the actual data and give them the prediction, not
Yeah.
run the model actually. That's
Yeah.
also a possibility, right?
That also a possibility.
Okay, fine.
So that is the whole process basically.
Thank you, sir. I got it. Yeah.
So today I think we finish here. What do you say? Because the tomorrow we will work with the feature engineering and tomorrow we will finish this whole task of making a model. Okay. So there is so many process remains over there. It's not a small task. We will see the model fitting and the histogram, everything, and we work with the outliers. We remove the outliers. This whole thing we will do. Okay. And then the model fitting will start. Oh, that's why we are doing this. You see here, what you are doing is skewness. Jaideep, we are doing this task for the skewness and everything. Don't worry. Will not lose any corner. I just asked to Mr. Mukesh. And is there any other doubt?
So like these RP lectures will be getting today or tomorrow.
Yes, Sally, you are, please be, noise is not clear. You again, pardon, please.
So I was asking like the lectures of today and tomorrow, sir, will be getting tomorrow.
You will get the study material. No? Yes, I will upload today.
Okay.
I will upload it because we have the 2 batches started yesterday. So we have to create some folders and everything in the drive. So it takes some time.
So kindly add me in that R2 because I missed out some classes over there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you there, sir?
Yeah. I thought like you're sharing the screen. That's why I didn't speak anything.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all the participants, I kindly request that whoever want to continue from tomorrow, you must need to pay and then continue. Till today, it's fine. Those who are not yet paid, please pay it max by max before this session start. Otherwise, we will not able to take you. So I have just given 2 days as a that liberty from our side, that so that you can adjust, you can pay some problem. But still, I have seen that lots of participants is not yet paid. So from tomorrow onwards, if you want to join, you must need to pay before joining the session. All right. So and for study material, today it will be get updated, and those who are already in paid participants will get the study material recording of the session. Clear? Yeah. Have any queries, question, let me know. People from Nepal, we have a Nepal bank account. You will get the payment details to pay in your local currency. People from Bhutan, you will get the same stuff. You will be paying there your local currency. People from Nigeria, you can pay in local currency or pay through PayPal, right? So we are trying to build a system outside India also, so that nobody face any problem. So please pay so that you can continue session from tomorrow. All right. Thank you very much from our side. Let's connect tomorrow again. Anything else, sir?
Please you share the link of that. I think if you have.
Payment link?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just a second.
And someone is asking about the amount also.
Yes, it will be just a second. I share you. I think in Zoom meeting we have already shared, but somebody missed it. So let me share you again. Once again. Give me a second. It has all the details here. Please copy it and paste it with yourself, all of you, because here you go. So payment link is there, payment amount is there. In Indian currency, it is 3,000 rupees, and for international participants, it is $50. So make sure you pay this amount. We will check that whatever payment is coming through the sheet, that you have paid. Make sure you pay this much amount. All
Excuse
right.
me, sir.
Yeah.
Will we have a R3 workshop after this one, like later on?
Maybe in December we'll try.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other queries which we can answer? Please copy this message, that it is useful for you for the payment system, certificate form, so that you don't feel confused, all of you. Okay. Any other queries, question which we can answer, or we should leave now? So we can end the session, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.